our expert for this session.
Thank you, Ashmet. So, a very good afternoon to all. Today, on this occasion, we are privileged to have Engineer Sridhar Venkat sir with us. Let's talk about his outstanding journey of his career. Engineer Sridhar Venkat sir is an elected graduate from NIT Rourkela and also did MBA Finance. Sir is currently a Vice President head at BSES Rajdhani Power Limited based at New Delhi. He also held director position at Utility Power Tech Limited, JV of Reliance R Infra and NTPC. Engineer Sridhar Venkat sir has more than 33 years of experience in petrochemicals, generation, transmission, and distribution utilities in Reliance Group of companies, and also has a rich experience in operation and maintenance, EPC, strategy implementation, supply chain management, and many more. So, I request Engineer Sridhar Venkat sir to come forward and share your rich experience and knowledge on project management over you. Welcome you, sir.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much, Dr. Garg, and a wonderful, interesting journey for us in Reliance Infra and as well as BSES. BSES is the leading utility in Delhi, and we at Rajdhani Power is contributing to 60% of the Delhi's area when we are distributing electric power supply. And I really thank Central University of Haryana to take me, invite me for the interesting knowledge sharing session. And it's going to be interesting. And I think I've been hearing that this faculty development program for project management and consulting technology has been going on. It's been MTV for going to be for 5 days program. And the students are going to be learning a lot of insights from both the theoretical as well as practical from various industrial speakers, and really I looking forward to interactive participation from each one of you, so that we'll make it an interesting session. And welcome you all the participants in the journey. There's why only one slide? Just a minute. Sharing, there's an issue. Let him select करो सब. हो जाएगा. Okay. Yeah. उसके बाद I have to connect practical also. So welcome you all for the project management overview. That is project management book of knowledge. I am going to talk on the 6th edition, which is the PMBOK guide, which has been published by PMI USA. And the 7th edition is also going to be there from 1st of August. It's going to be another revision going to come on the PMBOK guide. There are 10 knowledge areas: project integration management, project scope management, project schedule management, cost management, quality, human resource, communication, risk management, procurement management, and stakeholders management. So these are the 10 areas, knowledge areas that PMBOK is covering. So any project you do, you'll have to take care of all the aspects of whatever we are seeing it here. See, it's an integrated process. Basically, we cannot without any, we cannot move, because it's integrated manner we have to work. Taking whether it is schedule, cost, or quality, resource, or communication, risk, and procurement as stakeholders, and then entire both in every stage of the project, you have to closely monitor and control all the 10 elements on the project. What is project management groups? There are 5 process groups: initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. Because these are all grouped by 49 logically grouped PM processes. So consider this five process group. And what is connoting? बोलो connoting में आ गया. That's all. It's gone to connoting mode. बोलो ना. नहीं तनवर सनी तनवर के कन्वर्ट करके आ गया. How do you demote सनी तनवर? That's all.
Yes, sir.
Who is Sani Tanwar?
Sunny.
Sani Tanwar. It has come to connoting.
Yes, sir. What happened?
कन्नोट करके आ गया है तो इसलिए पता नहीं कुछ पेन वर आ गया. बोलो ना उसको बोलो ना. Shall I share once again?
Yes, sir.
You want Sani Tanwar can connote. That's the message I'm getting. Can Sani Tanwar can? Huh? Okay, let's see. Grab, no? Okay. Screen share button. Yeah. PowerPoint. Yeah, PowerPoint. Call him now, Nick, no? Yeah. Yeah. शेयर करो ना. शेयर करो. Yes. Okay. बुलाओ ना यार. हेलो.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There's a problem. There's a problem, it seems.
Let me share. Should I share your presentation?
No, I've updated. I want to show the updated one.
एक बार आप ये शेयरिंग बंद कर दे सारी.
सारी शेयरिंग बंद कर दीजिए सर आप एक बार.
ओके. कर दिया. दोबारा करें.
अभी भी है सर ऑन.
Yeah. Is it now okay?
Now it is okay.
Yeah. So, sorry for the interruption. Let us proceed further. On the project initiation phase, whether it is from project goals to major deliverables determination to project process output and document constraints and assumptions, defining strategy, and the identifying performance criteria and resource requirement and budget and documentation on the initiation phase, if you will look at it, how the prospect to proposal to bid to award to negotiation to contract to NTP to startup to commissioning, the entire cycle, to initiate the process and make it moving. I hope it is audible to Vikasji.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah, okay. So next we go to definition of project. I think you're all aware of this because every project is unique and is temporary because it has a definite beginning and end, and it's not an ongoing effort. It has to close. When the objectives are obtained, it also have to, but the team has to move from one project to other project. What we call it in forming, storming, norming, performing. Then after performing, you have to also demobilize the team for next project site. So the temporary in nature, and it's a unique characteristics because every project is unique and whether it is a product or a service you are doing, it is going to be having different specifications for different areas. So you have to work as per the customer requirement, and you have to delight the customer's satisfaction. So as the end, so it's again unique. What are the different characteristics of project? Is goal oriented, finite durations, uniqueness to great extent, is coordinated undertaking of interrelated activities. Performing the activities involve resources, and resources cost money. We all know this. Any project will have all these aspects. Why do we need project management? Because project is an entire integrated structure. You need to have exponential human knowledge, because human having a if it is not applying his intellect and intelligence, only applying through my emotional mind, that things cannot going to work in a project situation, because project cannot accept emotions. It has to be disciplined, and it has to be target, and it has to human mind has to expand to see that every stage of project we are able to we are within the cost line, time, and as well as the quality of the product output at every stage, whether it is engineering, or whether it is manufacturing, or whether it is inspection, or whether it is dispatch, or your store receipt, or installation, or commissioning, or end operation maintenance. Entire cycle, it has to be very, very clear, and it requires a deeper understanding and in-depth understanding. Then only you will to deliver the requirement, because the power plant has to be constructed. The plant is not constructed for 1 year and shut for next year. So it has to be run is a life cycle of 35 years or 40 years. So you will have to understand that in mind. So whatever you are doing, anything you are doing, have to have a greater impact on the society, and the that's why this project management you have to do in a time-bound manner, and also check and balances in systematic manner. Global demand for goods and services are increasing, so and competition also increasing, and it is a team versus individual. The project cannot be done as individualistic approach. It has to have a involvement of all the aspects of the people, and you have to make it happen. Whether it is a contractor workforce, whether it is a service provider, whether a consultant, engineering consultant, or a manufacturer, or a vendor, or any financier, or to do the everybody, every stakeholder is important. And at the end of the day, the project is not yielding the desired output and desired objectives, then there's no fun in taking the project forward. So the project manager role is very, very essential, the key, because he applies the project management methodology. He leads the team for the project objectives, and a single point contact. He planning, organizing, managing, delivering, identifying, balancing the entire aspects of from day-to-day to weekly to monthly to fortnightly to then quarterly, etc., etc. This has to be done, because 30 months, 40 months a cycle. You have to see every day activity and resources, the cost overrun, time overrun, quality, for quality, etc. You have to closely monitor. So what are the interpersonal skills required for the project manager? Leadership, yes. Team building, highly self-motivated guy. Communication is excellent. Communication skills you must have. He must be influencing the team to make things happen, and he's a decision maker. And he has to have an understanding of political culture awareness. Today we are talking about circular economy. In circular economy, whether from the engineering to the scrap disposal, able to understand that you are not damaging the climate or the environment or the society at large, also kept in mind when you're doing the project. So similarly, for the project manager, I have to keep in mind he is responsible for the circular economy, because the project is going to yield the benefits for the negotiation, the trust building, conflict management, coaching and mentoring, all aspects. It must be thorough and to lead the project. A balanced project, time, cost, and quality, and the scope, you are able to balance. The project is called the balanced project. The project planning, whether defining the project or work breakdown structure or resource development plan to time cost estimate to project control, project plan and obtain approval, needs to have a detailed detailing, whether it is engineering deliverables, whether it is procurement deliverables or construction deliverables. You have to break down into various aspects, electrical, mechanical, civil, and C&I, or only a substation will have electrical and civil, and the commissioning. Every activity has to be divided into task, and task has to be done with a habit. Because if you don't do a proper systematic habit and the task completion in time and the goal will not achieve the entire the project objective. So it has to be done with a proper WP work breakdown structure. There are a lot of softwares available: project management, Microsoft Project, Mac Project, Power Project, Primavera. The Primavera and Microsoft projects are widely used. And there are schedulers and workbench and super projects and turbo projects. And with AI and ML and artificial intelligence and machine learning languages are also helping the project into a different manner, aiding you in artificial intelligence applications. So which will help you to aid this human brain. So they have to have a start to the end and series activity, parallel activity. You have to keep on doing it as a snapshot of a chart per chart. Typical S curve, which is also applied in a project, plan versus actual. And the execution phase, committing resources, implementing the plan, managing the progress, communicating the progress, implement the quality assurance procedures. They're all in the execution phase. And control is very, very essential, because whether the measuring the performance, refining the control limits, corrective actions, evaluate properties of corrective actions, ensure plan compliances, reassess the control plans, respond to risk event triggers, monitor project activities. See, every stage you have to have control measures, and any deviation taking place, it must be immediately reported. So the course corrections have to also corrective action, preventive actions also have to take place simultaneously, so that you are able to be in the race. Similarly, the project closing phase is also very important, because you have to learn, accept the deliverables and by the client, and document the lessons learned. Whatever the lessons learned in the project has to be documented, so that next project we eliminate those mistakes and errors which have done, and we start give a new start. New errors may come, but the old errors should not come in the new project. Facilitate the closure, preserve records and tools, and release resources. These are all the basic steps. And if you took the PMBOK Guide 6th edition, it talks about all these 14 elements in interrelated approaches, from initiation, planning, scope, delivery schedules, and the cost and the quality, all have to be, and integration and the communication, all 6 elements are there in the planning. In the execution stage, you'll find whether it is acquiring resources, the human resource plan, or procurement plan, or risk management plan, this and stakeholder management, and the execution phase, you have to take care of all the aspects. They all are interrelated. And in the monitoring and control phase, all the 10 elements will come. You have to control scope and stakeholder, procurement, risk, communication, schedule, cost, quality. So this is integrated. And closing, you have to see that entire things are closed. See, this PMBOK talks about all the aspects to be the 10 elements which you talked about, knowledge areas, and this 5 group, and it is divided into 49 subgroups for 10 knowledge areas, and we are able to achieve the project. And the understanding of each and every word is a wonderful book. If you go through the book, and the step-by-step understanding is easily possible from the going through the book, PMBOK book. So let me talk about the 10 elements which are there. Project integration management. Start point is develop a project charter, project management plan, direct and manage project work, manage project knowledge, monitor and control project work, perform integrated and change control, or close the project. See, all this integration have to take place, because any change you are doing in the project during the course, initial or during the process or final product, also you do some changes. Everything has to be properly monitored, so that you are able to achieve the end objective, which has to be always kept in mind. Similarly, scope management, whether it is customer's specification document, which is there from the tender document, which you bid on one, that is the starting point, where technical specification document has to be seen, in which you have to dissect into engineering specifications, then material specifications and documents, and then you have to do construction contracts aspects. So moment the overall scope is defined, you have to dissect the scope into what you call billable modules, so that we call it billing breakups, BBU. So when you are able to bill, and also at the end of the project, you have to get the financials for the whatever work we are carrying out at every stage. LV deliverables, engineering deliverable drawing, some deliverables, some similarly the material aspects, similarly construction deliverables. So all have to be included to the overall. So here from the L1, L2, L3, L4 schedules, which you need to further schedule management talk about it. But scope has to be very, very clear, and how to further break down, and do it. Which has to do start first, which has to be begin. Like any construction project, you say for a power plant, you have to start having the land acquisition. This is the first thing. Second is all clearances for the project, and second is the construction power supply, land. Then after getting the land, you have to secure the land by boundary wall construction. Then after boundary wall, you have to see that the leveling of the areas are done. Earmark the segments which plan has to be very, very clearly done. So where the boiler turbine generator has to come, where the railway siding will come, where the coal handling, ash handling systems will come, where the water systems will come. Similarly, your ash ponds will come where, dry ash will be there. So you have to identify in a power plant. It's similarly in a substations, you are doing a project, you will have to identify where I'm to what is the scope of substation itself. Whether I'm going to be a GA substation or air insulation substations, or electrical substations, or only a panel room only which could be constructed, 11 kV distribution substation. So you'll have to have a clear-cut understanding of your scope, dissect them in proper work breakdown structures, and you have to every stage you have to validate whether you are within the scope or we are going beyond. So if you are going beyond the scope, then you have to also raise some additional quantities and additional this thing, because scope is very, very, you have to do within the budget, the cost. You cannot keep on, is asking you for bronze, you cannot give him gold, because that is not acceptable in project management, because you have to give only what is asked for. If he is asking for bronze and asking for a gold, specification talking about bronze and asking for gold, then the gold costs money. So the project manager has to understand that the cost is very, very important. So every stage of the scoping, he has to understand, and the billing breakup also has to closely understand. From the initiation to scope planning to scope definition to scope verification to scope change control, all the aspects of scoping documents and change control, the project guy has to understand and keep doing it. Similarly, next is the schedule management. Whether it is project schedule planning, determining the activities, determining the resources required, active durations, or dependency across each activity, series parallel activity, relationship between the activities, analyzing the activity sequences, durations, resource management, schedule, and crunching the schedule for meeting that target line with what we call it plan, actual deviations, reason for deviation, catch-up plan, etc., etc. So that we are always on the track and we are able to maintain the schedule. So that's very, very important. Schedule plays a very, very, very important, because if you see that balancing the project, time, cost, money, and quality, schedule plays a very, very important role. Because time is lost, everything is lost. And project, we cannot allow the time to be lost. You have to be on toes always to ensure that the project is completed well out of time and you are able to achieve the incentives which are described in the project management. Whether the activity definition, activity sequencing, activity duration estimating, and schedule control or schedule development and schedule control, you have to be closely doing it with L1, L2, L3, L4 schedules. And also you have to avoid the barriers to effective time management, like distraction, disorganization, perfectionism, procrastination, and rigidity. See, you have to be very, very flexible. At the same time, you have to meet that, achieve the quality and the safety and norms and the productivity norms. So you cannot allow the distraction to take place. You have to always be sharp, razor sharp focused on the managing of time and schedules and the project. Large scale project, you have to be very, very, very proactively, closely seeing things. Because here, suppose for example, we had an experience of constructing a IDCT, Induced Draft Cooling Tower, in one of our West Bengal project, where, sorry, it is NDCT, Natural Draft Cooling Tower, NDCT tower. So we are in the 49 stage where the bar bending schedules or something has happened. Instead of the designed SW wire, something lower grade wire was inserted. So the quality inspection engineer came and they said, "Oh, you have to dismantle entire tower, break it, and you start from the fresh." Oh, how can it happen when already you are in the middle of the project? You start breaking. So especially in civil, because I'm seeing a lot of civil construction, the executives are there who are going to be doing civil construction. Especially civil constructions, you have to be very careful, because unless you have close supervision at both the sourcing of material, cement, steel, or our batching plants, output, quality, and similarly the bar bending schedules and the bar bending diagrams, which and also structural erection, the processes members and horizontal member or a vertical member or a cross members. Everything matters in a project side. If you miss any critical member, or then the project may not see the end of the day. So we cannot bypass in project management, construction management, especially without a cooling, you cannot do. You have to do all the tests, civil tests which are required to do proper. This thing has to be done, and because normally it is seen in the industry that people cut corners on the cost. They put the poor quality materials or lesser specification materials and want to run away. No, it cannot happen, because see, like I said, it is for 35 years or 40 years of life cycle. The project has to withstand. The plant don't see the end of the day. Otherwise, it will happen that today we constructed, next day it will collapse and will all fall down. So it cannot happen like that. So very essential. So scheduling and all that. Same thing, monitoring. On the cost aspect, very important. Whether it is resource planning. So within the budget only you have to do. Budget control is very important, because you got certain cost for the project. For example, Yamunanagar project we got for 2,100 crores. My profit is 10%, 210 crores. So I have to execute within the cost, and within the I may optimize something engineering as well as execution. I can get the profit, but the profit has to come. But nobody will do business on loss. No? So that also kept in mind. So cost plays a very vital role. Every stage, the budget control and monitoring has to take place. In the initial, with the resource planning, people, equipment, materials, the man, machine, method, material, money, the method you want to do, and the cost estimations for the resources required to complete the project, budgeting from the overall budget by dissects for the billing breakups, and the control the cost within the budget. So budget control every proposal which is coming. So has to have a budgeted cost versus actual cost, then balance available. So you have to see, and from where you will get. Suppose you are at that project already, the money is spent. So whether how can you complete the balance? So we cannot do. So similarly in India, 20% of the cost on the final, it is good to get that what do you call it, provisional takeover or a final takeover. The money is very tough to get. So your margin is only 10%. Your entire bank guarantee will go for a 6. So you have to perform bank guarantee, you have to get it back. Advance bank guarantees, you have to get it back. So we have to ensure that all aspects are taken care while carrying out a project. Similarly, in the project, it is very important to talk about earned value, because what is the planned value? Planned value is budget cost of the work scheduled. Earned value is budgeted cost of work performed. So actual cost is actual cost of work performed. So unless you are earning the value of the project, you have not done the project properly. So it's maybe the amount, but we have to see that we are able to do. So why the brains are the for, intellectuals are the for, intelligence are for. So intellectuals and intelligence have to see that we are able to see the cost within this thing, and we are able to at the end of the day, at large scale project also we are able to generate some profitability. Similarly, on the other aspects of costing, life cycle costing, developmental cost, production cost, operation maintenance, and the discard. See, while doing commissioning and also to maintain the equipment till you hand over to the customer, punch points are liquidated. So you have to see that also that time also to consider. See, let's say for a project we have done the PTO, FTO, the schedule, 36, 35 months, 38 months, or 30 months, 33 months, but till the time the operation maintenance team takes over, you are there and hold them till the plants get stabilized and all the parameters are under control. You are able to meet that operability parameters and reliability parameters, and all the norms are within the norms. So that is very, very essential to see that we are able to maintain those costs also included in the budget. Similarly, the direct labor, inventory, you cannot keep inventory high. You cannot keep your overheads high. So whatever, but within that budget only you have to carry. You cannot put PhD doctors and many doctors, and you cannot afford to give them money, because that also is seen. Maybe you can hire them or a short-term duration and as a consultant and give them a short money. But you have to see that if the full time is involved and the money which has to go, those aspects also to be seen. Similarly, can you do in-house? Can in-house engineers can do thorough deep dive into the subject and reduce the cost for their organization? So whether the opportunity cost or variable cost, how we are able to control this also have to be understood by the people. Next is the important element is quality. In the PMBOK, they're talking about create a quality management plan. So which is to be there first. Then define the metrics, validate the quality requirements are met or not. Execute quality assurance activities, monitor and resolve deliverable quality, execute quality control activities, and determine the customer requirement to quality. So quality plays a very, very vital role. Inspections during the process, whether it is metal manufacturing or raw material sourcing, or the way the shipment is going to come, whether it is going to come through sea route or air route or by a road route. So how it is going to come, whether the material can come, whether I will not have any hurdles in the system, so that whether my logistics plan also been developed so that in such a way I monitor in such a way that I'm able to ensure that the product is able to reach a safe manner into the thing. Similarly, the manufacturing quality or a field quality, entire plants have to be in place where we have to ensure that all the aspects and integrated aspects, every electrical, mechanical, civil, C&I, or any disciplinary, other interdisciplinary for automation, etc., we are able to meet that quality deliverables. So in project quality management, establish organizational procedures and standards for quality, quality assurance plan, quality planning documentation, procedures and standards, SOPs and SOCs are to be there, formats and records for monitoring day to day. And also control through software, because large projects you need to have software to be controlled, to have QO plans, everything to be documented, and also see that every test records and inspection records also documented. So it is a very, very, very vital in a project. We cannot neglect the quality aspect in the project management, because cost of poor quality is one of the great subject. In a project, if non-conformance, let's talk about first. Scrap, rework, expediting, additional inventory, warranty of repair, complaint handling, liability, product recall, product corrections. These are all unwarranted, but we cannot avoid it. This will also come in a during project stage, because like in Yamunanagar we had the generator getting failed, and we again put the generator in place after doing the thorough understanding, doing FMEA for failure mode effect analysis study on the equipment failure, and also fishbone diagram, man, machine, method, material, what went wrong, is engineering is wrong, or the equipment manufacturing is the issue, or whether the quality construction is the issue, or the manufacturing, during commissioning, the way some errors have taken place. So those kind of deeper understandings have to be done, and do deeper dive to make things corrected, because once a rework is taking place, it's going to be very, very painful for a process in a power plant or any construction sites. So you have to have confirmation factors in planning, training. You have to train your people, construction workforce. You have to train them. You have to make them skilled. whether it is a mason, shuttering carpenter, barbender, electrician, welder, fitter, or heavy crane operator in a construction site, have to be given a 100% training to the skills which is required to perform. See, if the barbender does not understand the barbending schedules, if the mason understands how good the masonry has to be done, the product has to be looking like. Similarly, the carpenter doesn't understand how the carpenter should take place. The glazing work, or a tile work, or a door work, or a window work, or a false ceiling, false floor, all AC wire, either electrical wiring. See, this is all very important, because ultimately, if the guy is not doing a proper work, and we don't have a supervision and control in the sites, so anything can go other way around, and it will be very difficult for the management manager to do a corrections post the thing. So every stage is important to monitor, so that we are able to give the product which is required to be done. And then similarly, process control, SIPOC process we call it, SIPOC, supply input process output customer, from customer specification to customer delight. What the inputs are coming, what the process we are doing, how this output is coming out, whether is deliverables are as per the input which is asked for. So those things, everything has to be validated, from whether design validation or process validation, quality audits or calibration, etc. This all will have very essentially to be done to ensure the conformance, because non-conformance and cost of poor quality is a big mess which we can create. And to clear the mess, believe me, in practical life, which we have also seen, very tough to come back to again normalcy. Even I see one of the incident where 6 people have died. Why when you analyze why 6 people died in the accident, we went to details. Chimney constructions are going on in Isa, where the foreman, because that time the China visa problem was there, the people have to go not get the visa extension. They went to Nepal to stay 2-3 days, then come back again. That master foreman controller just went for 2-3 days, and the other guy with the project urgency to complete the target in time, because the schedule is also going out. He said, "Okay, let us go ahead." While gaming, go ahead without the master foreman. And what happened? This guy not worry about the standard wire gauge, which is the chain pulley block, which is pulling on the winch, which is driving 5 ton, and then 19 SWG wire, which is doing how much tonnage of work weight you can lift. The weight lifting at different angles will vary, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree. So how this will add to the weight, and people standing on the above. So if you do fundamental errors, then you don't understand the basics. And the master foreman, even like heavy crane operations or lift operation, winch operations, also different skill which is required. And if you do anything wrong on the weight calculation and angle, and so they can go everywhere. And we lost to Chinese also in the process. So it's a big lessons learned. Why do do hurry? When you make hurry, what happened? Project always done hurry, but hurry will not take you to meet hurry. We can meet hurry, we hurry. So let me take it next subject, the project resource management. See, very important on the man, machine, materials, etc., and the resources aspects. If anything is asked for, people will ask so many things in the project. This all I need a vehicle, I need this thing. So we also have to provide resources within the cost of the project only. So you have to have a thorough plan, how much is size of the project, how many project, what's the size of the project team size, or whether it is how fast is it executed. Then engineering, what is the time schedule in which you have to complete the project. So during the project, whether you need to have additional manpower to do a task which for completing it faster, quenching the time, then how to make it happen. So all aspects of resource management, whether it is materials or the thing, allocation, store management, and or a plant where construction manager, civil construction manager, electrical manager, and the C&I construction managers, their requirements, and how do we ensure that all these resources are given, and also optimized the way it has been done, so that the efficiency and the effectiveness of the resource also very important in the project. And you should cherish that achievement orientation of what is doing in a project. communication management. Very, very essential in the communication management. Many projects have failed because of poor communication. The media, the social media, or this thing will create a nuisance value for the people. But end of the day, you have to deliver whatever may be the hurdles which may come on the way. So that again, you have to mitigate the communication plans has to be properly laid down. Because in a project, if you don't communicate what is happening, and if somebody else is a misunderstanding and they start giving their own stories, which is very, very damaging for the organization to come back and they keep on justifying the people who are questioning. There will be parliament questions, there will be state assembly questions, there will be because these are governmental funded projects, so there are a lot of things you have to manage. So if you don't do proper work, and if you don't, communication is not documented and clearly communicated and managed, the communication has to be properly controlled. So the aspects like project documentation update, performance updation, change request, or organizational process assets update, issue logs, and stakeholder management, very, very key. And similarly, work performance data, work management plan. And you have to have a we have to have a project title, a name. So Sankal, project Sankal, or project Disha, or project so we give a name, and everybody is working only for that name, and the name it really gives them that internal push to make things happen. And same way, and you keep on giving an internal journal or a magazine, which or a this thing where you start circulating how the things are moving, positive stories about somebody's achievements. And when you communicate the achievements, the other guy who will want to be like the other guy, you also will get motivation, and you will also deliver as per the organization requirements. So communication plays a very, very vital in project management. And if you really communication channels, 2 people are there, there's 1 channel. And if 3 are there, 3 channels, then it is 4 are there, the 6 channels are there. 6 people are there, then 15 channels are there. And the project size, large size projects where 20,000 workers are working in a project site. So like Sasan Ultra Mega, 6 into 6,600, 60 megawatt, this thing project, the 3,900, 4,000 megawatt project site where 20,000 people working simultaneously for each boiler, turbine, generator, or coal handling, ash handling, coal system, railway siding, mines, etc., etc. See, so how many kind of channels of communication will be there? It is n into n minus 1 divided by 2. So 20,000 people into 19,999 divided by 2. So many communication channels are there. So project manager has to understand this aspect. It's very, very tricky. Communication plays a very vital role. Anything can go wrong if somebody misunderstands things and they start giving his own stories. So controlled way you have to manage, because anything if it goes wrong in the communication, it will create a lot of time delays and the bad names for the project. So that's very important for a project manager to understand. Communication planning, information distribution, performance reporting, and administrative closeout is all very key. Unless he does that, and the people always will start saying what kind of project these guys are done. This is under constructed the project, this is collapsed. These people are done. See what is happening. See the Ghaziabad, where that the civil guys have constructed that Samsan Ghat, where they constructed a temporary shed or something like that, where they have done the poor quality work. The entire that shed had come out, fallen down, and collapse, roofs and all, everything has collapsed. See, and 30 to 40 people have died. See, and this this project, what will happen to the project engineer? You say the project manager. Who has constructed the project? Who is the construction agency or done? Who is the project management agency who have carried out the project? So suddenly it will but they'll blacklist the construction agency, and for him again to come back to mainstream is going to hell of time. See, blacklisting is a very, very different phenomena for a typical phenomena for a vendor. So you have to ensure that those things are properly kept in mind. Quality is ensured. Same way, communications channels also to be kept in mind. Media management, social media management, Facebook, Twitter, and negative publicity. Those things also have to be managed in a project communication. Next comes the risk management. So risk management is also very, very essential, because anything you do, there'll always involve some risk. So you have to proactively anticipate what might go wrong, identify, assess what might go wrong, the probability and impact, and risk mitigation plans which you have, management plans. How do we say on top of it with the mitigation fallback planning? And we call it in the plan actual deviation, reason for deviation, catch-up plan. So how do we catch it up? So the delay has taken place, a risk has happened. So how do we come back quickly on that with the risk mitigation plan and the fallback planning, and we are able to win over the project. So if you look at the risk, technical risk, management risk, commercial risk, external risk, this is a PMBOK simple breakdown, risk breakdown structure, where the technical risk requirement definition to estimate to process to technology technical interfaces, and the management program management or portfolio management to operations and organization, resource and communication, contractual terms and conditions, internal procurement, suppliers and vendors, subcontracts, clients, customer stability, partnership, and the legal and other site facility, environmental, weather and competition, regulatory and all aspects. You have to manage every aspect of it, because it is not easy. Bookish knowledge will not help in the practical world, and practical world is entirely different. So how do you manage the risk and ensure that the project is delivered within the cost and quality and time? The procurement management, the procurement workflow from the identification of needs to terms of reference or schedule of work, to procurement methodology you want to do, or document PR and PO, vendor qualification, clarification, offer receipt, and evaluation of offers, and procurement approval process, then award the contract, negotiate the contract, finally manage the contract, and evaluate the procurement, the process, start from the purchase requisition to the purchase order or work order, for a service order or for a purchase order, for a supply order. You have to ensure that it is all done, and all the terms and conditions of the supply order as well as procurement order have to be executed by the respective agency, quality plan and deliverable, and delay. There will not be delays, monitoring, etc. So there will be LDs and liquidated damages for the delays, and several penalties and incentives for early completion or late completion. So stuff like that you have to keep on doing on a procurement also, because procurement is also very, very key, because it is after man, the material is the main material, and also the services you have to provide plays a very vital role. So a civil contract, let's talk about. So what are civil contracts we have in a distribution sector? We have roads and restoration, RR, for cable fault or new cable laying in a distribution site, or a switchyard construction or building construction, or housing and colonies, or offices, and and 11 kV transformer equipment foundations, which are there. These are the works which are normally done in a distribution. Power plant is different, and distribution is different, transmission is different, transmission towers, and so every area is area specific works will be there. And the civil engineers plays a very, very vital role in building the same, because if you are whatever building we are sitting there, if it is not earthquake proof, if it is not it's not able to withstand the Richter scale, and the building collapses due to the earthquakes and all that, if seismic zones are not properly designed and calculated, and also we are with the early warning systems and the building management processes today which are there, which gives you people evacuation plan, etc. So a lot of things which are there in the management. On a construction side, you have to ensure that all aspects, whether it is we had carried out, by experience I can share with you, we had CPW manual, India in civil, DSR rate, CPW manuals are the Bibles for any civil engineers, and similarly MES, military engineering services, those aspects are normally referred to for documentation, apart from the FIDIC and contracts, etc. Red book and yellow book, blue book, etc. And also the PMBOK we are referring. Those things are the manuals, apart from the Contract Act 1972, which defines that entire arbitration and the legality aspect of a contract. So that everything needs to be understood in detail. But procurement plays a very vital role, whether it's services procurement or material procurement, because you also understand the taxation. How do you optimize the taxation? Like earlier era, we used to have sales, service taxes and sales tax, etc., VAT, value-added tax, etc. Both post GST era from 2017, things are having uniform tax regimes. So the procurement, whoever is procuring have to understand what IGST, SGST, and international procurement. There is international GST, how they applied, which region which is bought, and what is the rate, how do we optimize? Can we make it from nearer, and can it reduce the transaction cost, or can I do it shipment outside and make it the cost lower? So this optimization also procurement strategies we are not one has to have. Similarly, during the negotiation also, the budget which is allocated for one material buy or a service buy, you have to properly understand a service contract. You have to see are the labor component, what are the component service contract, labor, material, and the consumables, and finally the margins. So you have to ensure that the laborers who are there have to be given minimum wages of the state rules, central rule. There are whatever rules are applicable. Maybe with the forthcoming amendment to the labor laws and labor codes, things may change. But currently, you have to see whether all the Minimum Wages Act, PF Act, ESA Act, Workman Compensation Act, medical facilities, first aid, see all aspects of the gambits of the labor, because those also have to be properly identified and to include it in the part of procurement itself, so that if you define it properly and your execution will also go properly. It's very essential to spend time in the definition stage, so that to avoid surprises in the later stage, because very essential to control, because without statutory control norms you cannot proceed further. You have to be, as a law abiding citizen, you have to control all the laws and regulations of the state or the central bodies. Yeah, we are already talked about even in the contract law, admission closeout is also very tedious process in the procurement. You would understand how the contract is. Two people have given a contract, and one is given a contract, other is receiving the contract. Both have to agree and close amicably at the end of the day. Final closure. So is also final closing also so not so easy. It's a evolving process. You'll say, I invested so much and my labors have, my cost has gone up. You're giving only the loss. So they'll all emotional dramas will come. So you would manage that during the closing out process and ensure that end of the day, as a project manager, you're not suffering. And a lot of different type of contracts are there, whether it is a fixed price lump sum contract, or cost reimbursable time material contract, or what do you call it, open tender, closed tender, or RC red contract, frame order mechanism. There are many methodology of doing contracting, so procurement and contracting steps. The last important subject is the project stakeholder management. See, unless you manage all the stakeholders in the projects, the business owner, the community in which the project is being delivered, the suppliers, there will be activation groups active in that area. They will always climate controls for the same areas, and they will come. NGOs will come, the land losers will come, and you have to manage them and ensure that they are able to they are satisfied. End of the day, your own competitors will try to pull you down. The trade association unions will play a very vital role. Owners will expect something from the team. Customers, unless you are able to manage and he is satisfied with the last nut and bolt, he will not allow you to leave the project site. He will make you ensure that he gets everything free of cost service. So you have to be alive and kicking to make things happen. Your own employees, end of the day, you have to retain employees for the next project. Retention is going to be a key driver in project. If you get an opportunity, you will leave away. Somebody is giving 1x, other is giving 1.5x, other is giving 2x, other 3.5x, 4x. So like will be competition will be pulling. So how to retain employee retention strategy is also going to be key in stakeholder management. Financial, end of the day, everything is still working for profit. Without profit, nobody is there. We call it planet, people, and the profit. So end of the day, if you know profit is not there, 3 P's, you're not there. The planet is not there, you're not there. People is not there, you're not there. So very important to understand the profitability aspects of the financials. And they mentioned financial community is 3, but that is one which drives every projects. So I will now take you through some case studies. Yamunanagar 200-300 megawatt thermal power plant, and also Jeevan Dwarka New Delhi GS grid substation projects. I'll again stop the sharing and start the new sharing. Just a minute.
Hello. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
just a minute.
Uh,
I'm sharing the case study.
okay, sir. Please, sir. Please. That would be.
Yeah. ऐसे जाना share ना ऐसे नहीं क्या करूं बैठ जाना stop कर दो तो ये क्या करो ऑन करो खुद क्या कर रहे हो शेयर करो ना हाँ शेयर करो पहले तो आ गया ये ना नजर पलट गया ना क्या लो तो कॉपी क्या हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा हो रहा क्या करो नहीं इसको उल्टा आना चाहिए ना रिवर्स करना क्या रिवर्स करो ना स्लाइड चेंज करो रोटेशन रोटेट करो रोटेट करो इसमें ऑप्शन नहीं होगा स्कूल पीपीटी नहीं रखना लो ना पीपीटी में ही है ना उसको बोलो Looks like it'll take some time because not able to come. Just a minute. रोटेट करो उसको स्लाइड पर ये क्या आ नहीं रहा है स्लाइड बंद करो दोबारा करो बंद करो शेयर को बंद करो दोबारा शेयर करो रोटेट कर दो रोटेट कैसे हो रहा है एडिट कैसे होगा इसमें स्विच ऑफ बंद करो नया करो ना भाई का सेंटर
प्रेजेंटेशन ही है ना सर?
प्रेजेंटेशन खत्म हो गया है.
हो गया अच्छा.
Next is the what do I want to show this?
ये कहाँ पे है सर? वही
ये इधर अपलोड किया मैंने. कैसे जाएंगे?
नीचे ओपन है ना कहीं पे सर? कहीं ओपन हो गया ना?
हाँ,
वही देख रहा हूँ मैं. पीडीएफ है ना ये सर?
इधर है.
थोड़ा सी मैं समझ गया सर. नीचे पीडीएफ देखिए.
नहीं यहाँ नहीं है ना. इस बंद करो. इधर करो. हाँ यार है.
ये नीचे पीडीएफ है ना? खुली हुई है शायद. ऑलरेडी खुली हुई है शायद.
हाँ, but वही is not open like this.
अरे एक बार राइट क्लिक करके देख.
हाँ, बड़े आएगा उधर.
दिखाइए.
चेक करो. Just a minute sir, just a minute. वो नहीं हो रहा ना. बंद करो ना. So just a minute sir, एक मिनट है. बंद करो उसको.
एक मिनट सर.
हो गया. हाँ. तो वहाँ करके खोल के वो करना पड़ रहा है.
तो शेयर पे जाके.
Yes sir, sorry है. I just go through again. Two more slides are there. एक मिनट रुकना पड़ेगा. खत्म कर लेता हूँ. So this is I'm talking about case study of 200 megawatt Deenbandhu Choduram thermal power project at Imranagar, Haryana. We have named the project as Project Sankal. Is it audible, Vikas ji?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is audible.
Okay. Visible also, na?
It is also visible, sir.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Perfect.
So this is the plan. As I was talking about, there is a NDCT, there is a boiler turbine generator, there is a switchyard. You can see that switchyard, and NDCT, and the raw water pond, and the boiler turbine generator structures, and the boiler house, generator house, and the chimney, and your ash handling pot. See all the aspect of railway siding where the coal is getting coal adders are there. So entire aspect of power plant give a perspective overview. And there's a plan which is located where. So 698 acres of land, 296 acres we have ash disposal area. 3 million tons per annum coal you have to handle. Coal has to come from Jharkhand. And you have to handle 2,400 cubic meter per hour Yamuna canal. You have to take the water. And the power takeoff is a 20 kV DC at 4 lines at HVPNL. Have to take this out. The designs are done. So water reservoir capacity, coal per day, ash per day, concrete. How much you have to use in the project? 2.6 lakh cubic meter concrete, 30,000 metric ton of steel, and 40,000 metric ton and 2,330 trailers of boiler turbine generator which will come site structure. So how this is transported? Road. How it is coming? The entire road initial phase where the greenery are seen. The project is now constructed. The initial phase where the Chief Minister is inaugurating the site, and where initial areas are getting built. The project has water system switchyards, how they were built. Chimney and NDCT, the entire greenery has now become the plant area. The power block and the DMPT plant, coal handling systems, the stagger reclaimer and coal handling belt conveyors and wagon deployers, etc. How it is come up, the railway marshalling yard. So the project was executed with schedule and cost and engineering reviews and vendors and main plant suppliers in China. A record the greenfield project in India. After BHEL used to construct earlier, so India L&T and Reliance has become one of the thing, a leading construction company. We won over the BHEL and the project in one. Even the cost of cement and steel and copper went up, and we completed the project within timelines. Multiple agencies, CA, design, and HPGC all were there. So we'll have to there. And vendors of overbooked. Systems and procedures and documents and logistics are also implemented. And we had planted our own engineers in China and to see that the quality products are coming up. Similarly, timeline with compared to Dangfang and Nehramabad project of BHEL. The drum lifting to hydro test to boil light up to synchronization. So we are always ahead of them. So it's very important. It gives a kick. And we have earlier plans has to be 250 megawatt and now the 300 megawatt, where you have done the projects within before the timeline. How fast you have done. This is how, because you are able to generate 2 units, 390 million units, 80 crores you are able to save. You are saving a 1 month. So you can say how much crore in exchequer is saved for the state of Haryana. Super saturated resources, working round the clock, working in critical areas, shift operations, TNP cranes, concrete boom places, advance and ad hoc payment to contractor 10%, then running bills mechanism, quality, health, safety, environment, and schedules. We had HPGC as the owner and CE as a design engineering consultant, design as a HPGC consultant, EPC contractor, then Black and Beach as a design review, boiler turbine generator, DCPL Toshiba engineering consultant, then BOP various contractor and Shanghai Electric Corporation doing the BTG package. And we had the structure, project director, engineering, procurement, quality, project management, contracts, commissioning, construction, and safety. These are all the project management team, and the construction and safety engineers are the field, and area construction managers in the field. So dedicated project teams, 75 engineers in Noida, engineering as well as procurement, etc. And 110 engineers at site. NTPC, BHL, Bechtel, Alstom, L&T, we have formed the team of engineers from them. We have hired them and we have taken up in our Reliance role. We had domestic and international experience. And DCPL and BVI also 50 engineers, we hired them. 60 Shanghai Electric engineers also worked with the site. So we had 5,500 laborers, and in the peak we had 8,000 contract laborers working. So we are ISO 9000 certified by BOQA, and also the quality design standards of vesting of technology, combustion engineers, boiler technology, STM SME for BTG material, and we have boiler pressure parts at IBR regulated the same. Inspections, and we had norms of inspections taking place by ABS and then boilers, etc. And the quality assurance plan of the product QAP to review, HPCL review, approval, manufacturing, Reliance inspection, Reliance and HPCL engineer to submission of TCs, issue of delivery instructions, and dispatch to site. Similarly, in the field quality plans reviewed and approved by HPCL, received MDC DI, received inspection to field quality plan check to HPCL review and witness to SEC witness for BTG, quality record invoice and original record of final stage. So every is a systematically the process are followed, whether it is piling and concreting and piping, how many kilometers the concreting and 2,60,000 cubic meter, cube test 11,500 sets of cube set to cube tested. Just a minute, sir. Share. Yeah, okay. Similarly, boiler structures 10,812 metric tons, ST bolts 70,000 multi bolts, ST bolts, deviation alignment of structures within 5 mm, Chinese says 20 mm, BHL is 25 mm, pressure parts welding, number of weld joint tested, repairs which are required within 10%, and spectrum analysis also done. No weld joints are rejected by the inspectors. So the verticality checks of the piling or survey checks by production station, boiler column verticality check, laser beam checks for chimney verticality, concrete slump checks, CBR check of the road, concrete cube testing, compact testing, and the core cutter methods of the constructions. Hydraulic test for SLB pipe, vacuum test, spectrum analysis of boiler weld joints, alternative test for weld joints, all testing for wrapping of pipe, rapid moisture test for moisture content. So all these quality standards were there in place to every stage of the project. Safety manuals, safety as per the contracts also defined properly. Safety officer deployed by us and also by contractors. PP is 100% PP ensured. Training awareness to all the laborers and workforces. Daily toolbox talking. Weekly meetings and safety drills. Action plan in place for accidents and emergencies, our mitigation, etc. Safety signboards. The fall arresters and the safety harnesses will be the lanyard. IT enabled project management we followed. Controlled centralized financial control, Primavera, fast track implementation, material procurement, central design engineering, with all connected to the IT, SAP, and also scheduling, contractual level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, as I was talking about, contractual to package-wise summary to engineering, procurement, construction, subcontract schedules, to detailed work plans, 4-week required plan, recovery plan, on the level 4, level 5. Everything we use through Primavera project management software. Then the monitoring system by client was there. So review, weekly review, monthly review, fortnightly reviews, which also to take place to ensure that communications are properly done. Second. Yeah. Similarly, our own internal monitoring system also is there. We had 24/7 war room. Daily progress monitoring, weekly monitoring, or engineering procurement, on top management reporting monthly, vendor fortnightly, monthly reports, then director level reviews, contractual review, budget package, other packages, weekly and fortnightly. These are very, very important because these reviews will tell you the communication where the plan, actual deviation, reason for deviation, how do we catch up? So all things will know through when you closely monitor the MS. SAP, Project System module, MM module, FICO module, and SD modules were introduced. Budget control systems till the MIS, how the control budget phase, WBS, cash flow, budget concurrent systems before, then during the procurement, MIS and the payments made, cost commitment report, we call it COCO report. The COCO report is to be a detailed one, where the every area by area we used to monitor, where we are going ahead, plus minus that we used to see, and wherever plus are there we used to control. Similarly, minus also there, okay, please optimization saving. So we try to do a close monitoring on the financials. And the communications, whether to site to the Noida Engineering Hub to Bombay headquarters and Shanghai and consultants, internet. So all the communication channels, whether it is Lotus and also HPCCL licensing office at Panchkula. So the channel of communications were there, whether it is site stores, a boiler, or an admin building, or a store building, or a site office, or to the headquarters. So we have to have proper communication channels functioning so that the information flow is freely taking place, because project information is very, very key, and the timely information and communication is very, very key for the success of project. IT, we did a lot of IT initiatives, VPN and central mailing, HR, ESS, central database, and knowledge sharing, e-library, engineering softwares, the documentation softwares like Avia and NVIDIA, etc. So whatever learning we did of the project, we mapped all the things, and SAP also modified. Whatever mistakes we did in the Yamuna project, we corrected those mistakes in SR, Raghunathpura and Rosa, and also Sasan and Ultra Mega, or Butiburi, or Samalkot plant we have built. So drawing approval projects, process, mandatory 14 days approval time. There's no delay is there, then immediately delay analysis are already coming to the top management. Inspection process. Front also, machining yard. So boiler, how it is now going beautifully, very nicely. The entire powerhouse building, how it is nicely constructed. The facade and the flora and fauna, and the entire greenery, end of the project. The entire steam turbine floor, NDCT of cooling towers, how 23,000 cubic meter of concreting per cooling tower. So it is 46,000 cubic meter concreting for 2 towers. Chimney, single RC chimney is 2 steel flow, 270 meter height. Tallest chimney in NCR and northern region. 8,500 cubic meter of concrete and shell. So 2.25 meter per day shell we have formed and carried out the construction. The raw water reservoirs, the raw water ponds, 40 acres area. DM plant, demineralization plants, PT plant, switchyards and electrical equipments, or air insulated switchyards, 370 MVA transformer capacity. and the generator transformer, unit accelerator transformer, station transformers, how they are done, the bus duct, how they are constructed, the ash dikes for the thing, the lining also done, HDP lining for the ash, dry ash to wet ash to see the wet ash handling. So we also look at the labor camps, street lighting, schools, dispensary, drinking water, boundary wall, school furnitures, temples, street lighting, blood donation camps, using pulse polio camps, schools and where adopted some schools, nearby villages, our laborers, employees, etc. So that's how we carried out this Imranagar project. I'll give you another snapshot of a switchyard project, which I said second case study, executed by Siemens in Delhi, where BRPL currently I'm there. Just a minute. How do you say? Yeah, are you getting the sharing? Vikasji? Hello? Vikasji, is it audible? इसको बड़ा करो ना.
It is audible.
Yeah, 1 second. Sharing ला खत्म ऊपर जाओ ना. Sharing है share करो. हाँ one है. You are able to see the slides?
No, sir.
Not visible here. Okay, बड़ा करो. Stop sharing करो ना. Share content. Share. Yes. Okay. Is it visible now? Hello?
No, sir. Yes, sir. Now it is visible.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. This is another project case study I'm going to show. Yeah. It is Siemens constructed a switchyard at G1 Dwarka, recently done, where 60 by 11 kV JS substations we have built for Delhi consumers. Each substation can give up to 1.5 lakh consumers in Delhi. It is manufactured at JS factory in Aurangabad. This is how this SF6 gas handling units are and HVDC PD measurement kits are manufactured at GS factory. Bird eye view of the factory where assembly is taking place, GS panels. So now come to the substations where we have built the switchyard. Earlier the switchyards used to be air insulated switchgears, open switchyards. Now you are seeing all indoor, closed door switchyards with the structures you are seeing, the assembly, the test fields and the base ready for packing. So where 8 were required for 15 meter by 12.5. Earlier the 72 meter by 28 meter size. So wherever the land is constrained, where we don't have space in Delhi urban area, where we have to construct the this is JS substations, so that we are able to give the in less space we are able to give a big substation of 50 100 megawatt of substations. Three substation transformers are there, then 150 megawatt of transmission capacity. So major work civil and JS civil infrastructure the thing. So how things have happened? Cable drum. We earlier was a cable drum area. So Siemens has done PM project management, civil engineering, such inclusions. Scope 60 kV 8 panels, 11 kV 42 panels, CRP and SCADA panels. Then bottom items like transformer, battery, EOT, LV cable, firefighting equipment and everything illumination have come. Then services like civil work, electrical testing, commissioning, and the freights for the transportation. This is the overall scope of the project. This is the layout, single diagram of the grid substation. The substation layout. If it has AS substation, now GS substation we are able to generate less space. We are able to make the plant. see this project from start date to end date is a very fast track we have done. 250 days we have NGT closer, but the actual execution minus NGT is 216 days. It's a record in the distribution space. Record done by Siemens in 7 months flat of consent associate. Unfortunately, last minute delay took place because of the the giants, which are special giants, JS indoor giants. There was delay in ordering and delayed the project by 5 months. Otherwise, we would have completed the project on record time 7 months. So, restricted space, no addition of scope or deletion, planning and delivery installation, metal storage issue, NGT ban on construction. So there was a ban in Delhi on construction because the pollution was very high. So the norms of pollutions, the constructions were stopped by Delhi urban scenario. Municipal corporation been told to stop the constructions, restricted movement on manpower and machinery. So delay in approvals also took place in the panels because first time JS was getting into. There's also EOT wrong manufacturing. They have to again do the remanufacturing took place. So how this post construction of the JS building and how the 11 kV panel CRP rooms are looking like. So this is the second project which I want to share. So thank you very much. That's all for the day. Vikasji, now over to you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the nice presentation, and it was really highly informative, especially your case studies. So, any question from the audience, participants?
Yeah, please.
Please ask some questions if you have in your mind. It was very informative, elaborative presentation. Yes, anyone, any participant who wants to ask?
Please come back, come, no problem. Whatever you want to ask, please ask.
Sarah shares very good case studies. Anyone? Mukesh sir? Mukesh Dubey sir? Sorry, मैंने unmute.
So first of all, good evening, and I really say it's a nice presentation what you have given about Yamuna Nagar and comparison which you have given for the other upcoming projects. So just want to understand that there is always a risk with the risk management you also told in our presentation PM book.
Yes.
Understanding. So
Yes.
does we have any understanding at the time of initial stage where we do some risk assessment or risk analysis, and if yes, then how we can take the maximum understanding about that risk can be mitigated?
Yes, yes. See, yeah, Mukesh, I'm audible?
Yes, sir, audible, sir.
Yeah. Mukesh, based on the Yamuna Nagar was the first turnkey project for us. We were earlier constructing the balance of plant project from Panipat, Paricha, Doran experience. We have moved to boiler turbine generator, entire plant, ash handling, coal handling, everything, total scope. See, first project when we did, we went with a lot of adventurism. We had taken the people from NTPC and BHEL, L&T, experienced hands, where that knowledge base and inputs were our basic ingredients. Also, we took the risk of going to China for China boiler turbine generators. So we taken a calculated risk because unless we take a risk and enter into the market, we will not know the pulse of the area. So we said we'll do initial phase. When we did, we said, okay, we will hire good engineers and quality engineers, and we'll manage entire aspects. We have got people from. We did a SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, and opportunity threats of our own engineers who are executing for the world this thing. Then wherever we found that there are weaknesses, we have strengthened them with quality engineering resources and also quality execution resources with the very India and the world. So to inculcate that strength. On the risk management aspect, this thing we had experienced project management leaders who handled multiple projects and who are the leading the projects. They have the in-depth understanding of all the aspects and deliverables of the projects. But later stages, we realized that we need to do thorough professional manager risk management plan, because we then went for ISO 31000. So ISO 31000 gives you entire risk management approaches to be done by the department itself based on the learnings whatever you learned. In fact, we also had some consultant, KPMG or PwC, somebody engaged during the initial risk management plan, the risk matrices and the deliverables which can go wrong. Black and white was given the engineering deliverables. Similarly, on the overall project also, we have done BOQA. So wherever it was, and one more gentleman was there. I think PwC or KPMG, some consultant we engaged. Yeah. PwC, Krishna has brought the PwC consultant. So consultant was appointed. Okay. To us also know the project risk, this thing, and we learned the first stage project. What are the risks and how do we mitigate the risk? If the people, talented resource goes away, how will you take care of those in the project? Similarly, engineering, some key leader leaves the organization, then we're not able to retain him, how the things are going to. Similarly, failure takes place during the boiler turbine, during that commissioning. So we were anticipating that, the risks are all undefined, all the areas, whether it is engine deliverables and procurement deliverables and construction deliverables. And end of the final product delivery also, we had calculated. Going for China, we anticipated that China, we had to wear the risk of China products working in India. So that's how you and carrying in the public also. But we had the conviction that it's a Westinghouse technology. It is already proven and working in Japan, and also Tokyo, and all the same technology is working. 300 megawatt projects are working. So India so far only was handling the rugged and the BHEL machines. So we are going for a Chinese technology. We have taken a calculated risk, and we also had a fallback risk mitigation plan. Okay, if something goes wrong, we'll again quickly come back, and there'll be initial. We took it as the first project. We took it as a calculated risk, and we went ahead and did the project. And the learnings, whatever you have got, the design aspect, or whether it is engineering aspects, engineering design aspects, or a manufacturing aspect, we have overcome in those aspects in Rosa and Butiburi projects. So these exercises can continually go on. We keep on building it. And initially, we did a thorough risk matrix and risk calculations analysis through the professional who gives us advice. Later, we introduced ISO 31000, 9000 through BVQA or BSI as a system itself in the organization. Yes, Mukesh.
Okay, sir. Sir, I think it's really nicely understood that learning from Yamuna Nagar we have implemented in other projects. Sir, can you give me some examples regarding how the client involvement for money part, means getting income invoices from the client? Because normally what I understand, when I at a site, it's always a tussle between taking the money from the client, because they also always try to find some fault in our work, and they try to not process our bill. This I normally feel in most of the projects. So does we have any such situations? And if there is a situation, then what is the best way of dealing such situations, if you have any understanding about this?
Yes, Mukesh, you are very right in putting the question. Any governmental project we are carrying out, and getting money is a process by itself. So what we did is we did a 3-4 strategy. One is site and construction invoices management. Another is engineering deliverables management, invoices management, and third is the material deliverable invoices management. We are divided into 3 and commissioning invoices and final last stage PTO and FTO in a plan. So different stages, and the billing breakups are very clearly defined. So what we did is Yamuna Nagar, we stationed the corporate affairs department itself there in customers' premises, So who are always there on the getting that things cleared from the customer and the PGCL, where engineering and the project managers are there. And the construction manager who are there, the site who are going to take over the plant and operate the plant later. So where civil construction manager or electrical who is going to take over from us. So we had identified the respective lead who will ensure that these invoices, respective invoices are as per the billing breakup of the constructions are getting it through. Similarly, we put the people on the material project management was getting out the material, GRN and the material delivery, and the moment the material delivery happens, then the invoices for the material delivery. So each stage, whether it is billing breakup wise, electrical, mechanical, civil, C&I, commissioning, and final handover takeover. So we had a team continuously monitoring billing breakup wise, and they were always giving from the advance payment till the last penny payment. So there was a team which closely worked, the project management team was closely associated with monitoring every aspect of the breakups. So 2,100 crores was dissected into various aspects. 100 we get 10% advance. 210 crores we got advance for initial mobilization and for boundary wall and land acquisition, but then also land leveling and construction power, etc. Initial aspects, and also our own engineering officers and infrastructure, etc. So from the advances, we started doing RA bills, RA1, RA2, RA3, then final bills. So that kind of mechanism was there, closely monitored mechanism. And there is the MIS, which is also circulated to various, whether it is project management, project control manager, or whether it is a construction manager, or the project manager, or the project director, or the group director. So that MIS was flowing across the as a one common MIS. So suppose some area we find there is some lacuna is there, slackness is there, then we used to spend a special team to focus that area and get the bottlenecks removed and ensure that we get a win-win proportion for the project company. So we are very nut and bolt management, we call it micromanagement, every stage of the project, and ensuring that the end of the day we have money flow, cash flow, we don't suffer. Normally in government project, what we see, and Manish, Mukesh, is that 80% of the money flow is very smooth, because the 0 to 30, the S curve you see, the initial progress, the advance is given 10%, then later the 0 to 30 there will be the slow progress. Then after 30 to 80, the progress will be very steep, because your foundations all done, piling all done, equipment foundations all done, the equipment starts with electrical, mechanical, then civil, then overlapping C&I, then again civil, finally finishing. So the aspects which keep on happening in a power plant or any construction scenario, building construction you are doing, there's a process. We are any construction, we call it civil engineering construction. There's a different W work product structures, and they are very proper. If you define it properly, and if you have a strategy, if you have an end in mind plan, and micro level you are planning that end in mind, and closely monitoring each and every aspect. And we call it cost and commitment report, COCO report, which also say whether the cost has been, what the budget and element, how much I spent, whether the invoices, cash flow monitoring. So cash flow has come or not, where the cash flow is lagging. So where do we again to push, whether we have to push at where something lacuna in the documentation. So the team of documentation experts are sent to correct those errors. Some engineering deliverables, some errors are then go after the engineering consultant or a review consultant or a governmental approved agency to see CEA, etc. Get the clearance. So you have to do a lot of project is Mukesh. It's not a simple equation. It's a midnight oil also to spend, as well as a lot of piling you have to do to make things happen.
And that is what, sir. Therefore, I was looking for this thing, because what I understand, the size of project you are saying, it is more than 5,000 to 6,000 crore project, and
Yes.
in that project there are going to be multiple contractors and dealing,
Yes.
because you have to give the money to contractor and getting the money
Yes.
from the client also. So making this equilibrium, it's not that easy. Therefore, I have raised this question. Thanks, sir. I think I really understood the things. Thanks for this.
Thank you, Mukesh. Thank you for asking the questions. Any other questions, please?
Sir, I have one small question. How will
Yeah,
you
please.
ensure safety at site? I will ensure safety at site. Can you tell me one example? You must have handled
Yes.
larger sites.
Yes. See, what we did, we had a two-pronged strategy. What we did is we had a Apex Safety Committee, which is reporting directly to the Director of Operations. So there is to be a safety engineer or the team at the site, and the safety engineer at the headquarters. And this reporting to Affairs Committee, directly reporting to the director who is above the project directors. So what is to happen is the policies and we created a SHE manual, Safety, Health and Environmental Manual, at the Apex level. And from that manual, we asked them to create a SOP manuals for at the site level to execute, and also the formats and records. And there's a proper monthly MI systems flowing, and any incident, accident, or near miss accident takes place, that must be reported, whether it's small or big, that must be reported. A fall, a trip, what are the accidents in the construction sites? Fall of objects. Please, just a minute, Bajrang. Fall of objects from the height. Okay, then then the person falling from the human being falling from the height, and electrocution, or earthing, that caving taking place. That we are doing underground caving, and where all the sands are all caved, and we are not done, proper shoring has not been done. So the entire sands which have been excavated, they all caved in, and the people have died. So in the incidents like that, there are predominantly these are the things, and also equipment moving, and it hit because not proper visibility was not there. It has hit, or a crane or a boom, or which is not properly lifted. While lifting that boom failure had taken place, the crane has failed, given away. As I was explaining to you, the winch has given away, the properly not designed the SWG wire, angles are not done properly. So there are many things which do take place in a construction site. So the death is a very painful process in a construction site, because it totally demoralizes the entire team working in the site. So to again bring back the momentum in the construction site is a very, very tedious process. So what we did is we did a proactive approach in making the HSE manual, Apex manual, very, very stringent, and the quality. I was reading the Apex HSE also. The team of engineers is to report to me. Any accident takes place, there is to be used to send a high level investigation team. Like railway safety, you are seeing, where the Director General of Railway Safety is to go and visit the incident and takes a complete study and do the report. We also had a detailed investigation report system, where we ensure that the recommendations are shared across all the sites, so that the learning, so one mistake is taken on one side, same mistake should not be repeated other sites. So that learning was passed on. With the openness and transparency, we can bring the accidents down. Because in construction site, the near miss, suppose you don't report near miss, there is a saying, the number of near miss which are there, which creates the accident, which leads to the fatality. If you don't take control of the near miss incident, if you don't report it, if you don't take corrective actions, if you don't have a system of PPE properly followed by people, if you have a night, the proper lighting systems are not there, then the handover takeover time, silent hours working where the properly not handover takeover does not take place. Human their situations and the mental state, the emotional state, which plays a very vital role in the construction. This thing, psychological state, which also play a very vital role in safety, and also the activity which they carried out in the labor colonies, which creates a ruckus, and they create a nuisance value for the system in totality. So every aspect needs to be understood and has to be properly defined and monitored. And training and development is also key. See, as I said, we did tie up with the CIDC, Construction Industry Development Council, to do a skill development training program for our workforce, so that the workforce, whether it is mason, shuttering carpenter, carpenter, electrician, welder, fitter, or given a basic ingredients before they venture into the site. After they venture into the site, when the ingredients are given, they do a proper work. Then we do upgrading of them. We grade them A, B, C, D. So that level D, they will be grown to level C, then level C to level B to level A. The level A will become foreman or a supervisor. So that kind of grading. So the guy can, from the construction laborer who's coming as a helper or a worker to a lineman, can become a lineman, can become foreman, can become supervisor. Those growth strategy also is very important, and with that kind of culture, in HR we call it COPS: culture, operation, process, and systems. People and systems. What safety is a culture? What kind of culture you create through your own people, process, technology, and the results will be for us to see. And if you don't design a system properly, the health, environmental, and safety systems, whether it is fire systems or whether it is safety health, PPE, or the toolbox talks, or on the job safety analysis, OJT. So all aspects is a culture we created in our organization, so that we avoided major, even though we have done a lot of things, then also accidents do take place in construction site, but we can minimize and we can restrict by bringing a proper culture. And culture creates that, operations, and the people are part of the culture, and the culture creates the systems and process, and system process automatically takes care that there's no fatality takes place. So safety is very, very, and we don't leave it lightly. And any accident or incident takes place, immediately that headquarters team is sent with senior leadership. They go thoroughly and grill the site in charges, construction managers, and ensure that, so that they have a fear of somebody is watching you every time. Because you cannot be a killing field, and you cannot make it a human slaughtering house and say that the project is succeeded. No, we are not here to kill human being or anybody. That message is sent very loud and clear to the construction manager or the project manager at the sites very loudly.
Yes, sir. Very true, sir. Safety is priority at the site.
Yes.
And it is must for all the workers for running any project safely. I completely agree with you.
We always say safety first, quality second, productivity third.
You are right.
Yes. If we don't see, if you don't do safety first, these are all, we only inviting trouble for all of us.
Yes, it can become a big trouble.
Yes, big trouble.
Yes. Anyone who wants to ask question, sir is elaborating in a very good way. If you want to ask any question, any participant,
please come.
Please come forward.
If it is silly also, okay, no problem. The understanding is, I always believe knowledge, awareness, action, results. So if we don't have knowledge, we cannot be aware, because the action, whatever you take, the results will be counterproductive.
Right.
Please ask.
Sir, my PMBOK. You have mentioned PMBOK 6th edition. What is its scope?
Yes.
What would be its cost?
This PM book, I will
show you.
I will just show you. Yeah, I'll just show you so that you can see it. Yeah, yeah. I will just show you the book itself. It is available, downloadable on the thing. There are, and I'll show you the book itself so that you'll understand.
Download. Yes, this one.
Yes.
Yes, this one. You have shown it.
I'll just show you. It's fully downloadable and it is available on the net.
It's a downloadable. Yes, we will download it.
And there are, if you want to understand the questionnaires, the guidance, the examination, somebody want to become PMP, a project management professional, there are information which is available to give them the coaching, to develop them to become project management professionals. So those kind of stuffs are there. I'm just sharing you the book so that you understand.
Sharing, you can share. Yes, first you have to stop earlier sharing. Then I think you can share this.
I'll just show you. I'll show you the book.
Yeah. You have to stop this sharing. And I will request all the participants, please switch on your cameras so that we can take a group photograph after this We will take a group photograph. So all the participants are requested to switch on their cameras. Yes, sir. This one.
Yeah, this is a download. Let me
This
see. Let me just see. Yeah, this is the book.
Yeah. Guide to project.
You are able to see?
Yeah. Can
So
I
this
get
one
it,
the-
sir?
Yeah,
Yes.
pardon? Yeah,
May I
you can-
get this file,
yeah,
PDF file?
I can give it to you, no problem. Please.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So you can go through whatever I explained. I only given the outline only. This
Right,
entire
sir.
thing we have to go through because we are all experienced. We are real practical life. We have seen the projects and all that, done the project.
Right, sir.
So we
Then
have
I'm-
experienced all the aspects.
Right, sir.
So somebody wants any sharing, it is always available to you. No problem.
Thank you
Sir,
so much,
good
sir.
evening,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yeah.
I'm Sudhakar.
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Yeah, sir. In the process of tower construction, do you use any Tekla-based software, sir?
Where you saying? Can you please
In
repeat the question,
transmission
please?
lines.
Pardon?
In power transmission lines
Yeah.
of tower constructions,
Yes.
can we use any software like Tekla?
Yeah. There are many power grid. Even our own transmission line. We have developed our own in-house project management softwares to monitor what kind of tower, where the tower footing has to be done, where the hills are, this thing, where the plain area is coming, where the road, where exactly we have to place the tower locations. The entire study, topography study, and the land, landsliding and the climate study. There's a detailed, based on that, we carry out the construction of tower for the thermal power, this, the transmission and distribution transmission towers. So, like Golden Parvati project we built, we had our own software, and also Power Grid also developed their own softwares. So we had hired people from Power Grid. So they had, in fact, with their past experience, they have developed their own in-house software with our IT team for project monitoring and control, even tower location. And we used to GIS very extensively in our projects, the geographical information systems, because in fact we saved one of the project where exactly the water system has to be, where the location of raw water pond, where it has to be the coal handling. So you see, if you do layout properly, and layout designing plays a very vital role. If you don't do layout designing, and even pipeline you can cut down the pipeline length in a process plant by placing properly the raw water system or cold water, the water system, DM water, NDCT. So you can reduce the pipe lengths. So similarly, this drone survey, nowadays people are using drone survey, where drones are sent to see that what kind of topography and hilly terrain it is, and it assess the data, and what kind of rainy, how many times the rainfall is there, what is the condition of the soil conditions, and then also what is the climate, what do you call it, seismic zone studies, which report says it is zone 3, zone 4, zone 5. So accordingly, your piling foundation or normal foundations, the designs. So these softwares integrated, we have multiple, these guys, Jyoti and Transmission Tower manufacturer, they also have their own executional software which are there. Jyoti and Power Grid, because with their experience, they use L&T tower and all that. So they have in-house, but also this can be the Tekla and all that also be used. Whatever we are used, we also in-house, and GIS we are used extensively. Of late we are using drone survey also for our setting this location sites, how the the equipment has to move, transportation study, and done in advance, so that how that the towers can be with our members can be taken and assembled and constructed. So it's a deeply involved subject, and softwares are there today. It is multiple softwares are available. Steel and concrete detailing, precast and cast in situ, 3D structural modules, those kind of things also now come, and advanced in structural design. Tekla is of course very widely used.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Anyone last question? If anybody wants to ask, or sir, please stop sharing so that we can take a pic for all the participants.
Okay,
Please stop sharing.
I stop sharing.
And all the participants are requested to switch on your camera so that we can take a group photograph.
Is it coming? My video is
Yes.
visible to you.
Video, sir, but if you will stop this sharing, then all number of participants will come. Otherwise, very few participants I can see. Priyanka, you will also take this snapshot of this. शेयरिंग नहीं जा रही, ये वो ही कर पाएंगे ना, शेयरिंग तो वही स्टॉप कर पाएंगे ना. Sridhar sir, are you able to hear me? Sir, I think the connection is cut. Sir, are you able to hear me? Can you hear me, sir?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it the sharing is stopped now?
Please stop the sharing, sir.
It's not still done. Okay.
Yes.
I stopped from here.
I'm not able to stop this because you have put number of files so that.
Okay, I'll stop it.
Yeah, please stop the sharing so that we will take a pic.
Sharing cancel. Cancel. Why it is not there? It's all to be gone. बंद कर दिया भाई. ये बंद करो इसको. Hello. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is all sharing gone?
No, sir. It is still here.
And then how do we close it? I'm not able to close it from here.
Okay, then I am taking pic from here only. I'm not able to see all the participants, but whosoever is looking, I am taking.
Participant list है ना, sharing तो नहीं है, बंद क्यों हो रहा है? क्या हो रहा है?
Are you able to stop? No.
Yeah, I know this sharing is not coming. I don't know.
Okay, sir. Let us finish here. Thank you so much, sir. Once again, thank you so much for giving nice presentation. Very informative, very elaborative. And I know how much busy you are in your schedule. Still, you have spared your time, precious time, for guiding us and giving knowledge towards project management. You have taken all the factors, all the aspects which are required. So thank you so much, sir. And we will remain in touch with you for the near future for our students also. Thank you so much, sir. Thank
So
you.
always available to you, Vikasji. Thank you for inviting me. Wonderful audience, and this faculty development project management and construction technology will go a long way. And I appreciate Central University of Haryana bringing out this initiative. And under Atal program, you are really making the things. Skill development is the key for the country's growth, and you are taking the
True,
important
sir.
mission of
True.
Atal mission. And this, I wish this mission to go a long way. And keep share me the things what you are going through. So let me also, what is the new development is happening in the country. So let me also
Thank you,
understand. Always I believe in sharing. Sharing is always.
Please, sir. Please, please. Whenever you
Anything-
want, I will share with my students.
Yes, yes. Any topic you can talk, because I am a multifaceted personality, whether it's project management or operation maintenance or cost reduction, finance or HR. You can talk on HR. So any subject you like to have.
I have seen in your presentation. I got idea.
Yeah.
No, surely I will request you in future, and hopefully we will remain in touch with each other.
Yes.
And thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mukesh, also is introducing me to you. So
yeah, we should say thanks to Mukesh, because he is the key person for this lecture.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
So I wish all the students a great learning and wonderful sessions all through. And there's something, Mr. Manish Ahuja, my colleague, is there. He wants to do some small announcement. Manish, you want to see?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Manish, please.
Yeah, good afternoon to all of you.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, so we are trying to catch up with the various HRs, including our company, in the month of November, right?
Okay.
Where students wants to ask many questions related to their HR career profiles. So at that forum, many HR heads will be available. So maybe in the next month we will freeze the company, and though that company will try to tie up with the various HR heads of different companies. So we
Very
are
good.
organizing a small conference on HR. So
Good, sir.
We'll come back to you soon.
Sure, sir. Sure. I will wait for that. And whatever.
Any students, because they willing to do summer training or some exposure, they want to do a practical construction of civil constructions, which is going on in our substation and all that. We welcome them. We'll host them for,
Sure,
that's also available.
Sure, sir. Sure. For the one semester internship, I will request you.
Yeah, please.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for all the. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.